This is real personal, and in most of my videos, I do give pieces of me. If you listen, I say what I do. I don't say what you should do or anything else. I give pieces of me, and I'm gonna start getting even more and more personal with these videos, so you could understand how my mind works. But I'm telling you, if you've seen all my videos, you see I throw a lot of myself in there. Like any topic I'm talking on, I say what I feel about the situation, which in turn displays me, what I am. Now, I was writing like I always write, and I wrote this thing. I thought it was pretty good because it actually makes sense to me. It says, "I'd rather you blow my mind than blow me," which means I'd rather have somebody like a girl, obviously, like intellectually, like start me up than rather sexually and shit. That's why when I go out for girls, I go for one thing, because girls never really spark my mind and some shit. Like I never met a girl who could have a conversation, a good one at that, and that's why I go only for certain things. Starting off, it could change my mind. Like you don't have to completely be smarter than me on certain subjects, or you know what I'm saying. And this ain't no dating shit either. I'm just saying how I think, and just like my experiences with people, I never really, you know, like had somebody who could challenge my mind and whatnot. Like I remember there was this girl. She was going to school to be a therapist. I was talking to her, and she was like, "There's a girl who's trained in these fields and still couldn't get me nowhere." Like she was trying to like figure me out, and she couldn't at the end of the shit. We spent like an hour talking, couldn't figure me out because it's not that easy. It's like what I say makes sense to you, but you won't take it because the whole world doesn't think like that, which is how a lot of stuff in the world happens. Like if everybody's not doing it, you won't do it. And I'm not saying that for everybody, but I'm saying that for most people. Like most people, they, you know, follow certain lines, certain guidelines, then try to think on their own and whatnot. Like if something doesn't like really make sense to people, then they won't do it. Like for example, like if you want cheap food, where you gonna go? You're gonna go to a drive-thru and whatnot, right? Like I'm talking about people like my age, like 18, 19, 20 and shit. Like you won't go home really to cook something. Now I'm speaking for most people, I'm not talking for all people. But you won't go home to cook something just because you're trained to think that, like, you know, we're young and whatnot, and we go to fast food places, or we go to diners, or we go to anything else like that if we're already out on the road, or if we just feel like it. While most older people, you know, from what we see, from, you know, how society guidelines are, they stay home and cook. Could be because they have kids already, or could be because they know how to cook, or could be many things, but that's the way the guidelines are, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, and I completely trailed off once again, but going back on what I was saying, it's hard to find somebody like who could, you know, not outthink you, but think on your same level. You don't have to think like me to talk to me. You just have to know about what I'm talking about, so you can get what I'm saying, so you can have your own opinion on what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just not know anything about what I'm talking about and expect for me to find you interesting enough to keep talking to you. Then my mind just turns another direction, and I just try to get something from you rather than talk to you. And this is putting myself out there. I've done this before. There's probably girls who's watching this right now that I've done this to. But it is what it is. That's how it is with me. Is it like that all the time? No. Like, right now what I'm feeling might not be how I feel tomorrow. Something completely crazy might happen to me. It might change my whole way of thinking, and I won't think tomorrow. This is the reason why I do these videos, because at the point in time, this is how I feel. It's not how I always feel, but, you know, just like life, certain things happen which makes us be like, oh, so I was completely wrong. How I was thinking back then, now I know how it is, and now this is how I think now. So this is to keep my train of thought, you know, recorded, so I can see what I was thinking at a certain time. But that's what I think. I'd rather be somewhat intellectually entertained more than anything from anybody, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could count 2 people that I really chill with. Like really just go with them, chill, watch TV, go out to eat, whatever. That's it. And then you could like probably think of yourself, you probably have like 5 or 10 people that you could chill with. Like just, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that. I can't do that. I can't. Like I pick my company really selectively because if you don't understand me, then to you it might not mean nothing, but to me it will. To me it's like, if you don't understand what I'm saying or understand what I'm talking about, understand where I'm coming from, there's no point. I'm not a teacher and shit. I'm not gonna try to teach you what I think, but if it ever gets to that point, maybe you could learn something, or maybe I could learn something from you. But for the most part, I don't go out with those intentions to, gather up people. And those people are chill with. I do know a lot more people than 2 people, but I'm just saying for those people. But yeah, it's all about the mind, I'm telling y'all. You could do more with words than you ever could do with your fists. Or you could ever do with anything else. Spoken word. Power of the universe. Streetshood.com.